Welcome to Evergreen, a town of peace and perfection. Or at least it was. A town destroyed of all its appeal. Kids living in terrible conditions, families with no homes left to die thanks to the hot atmosphere of the sun. And a bunch of wacky memes that probably won't be in the video since the script has been worked on before the video was finished. Most of you little ones sitting here are wondering, why are you here listening to me? Why are you here in the worst existence of your life? Well, young ones, back when I was little, our town was just a normal, peaceful town. And our mayor, Principal Pankley, was in control of what happens in our town. And Mr. Tinkleton was one who was in control of getting our town in order. But then one day, our lives would change for the worst. All too often, our happiest memories are tucked away in the hard-to-reach places. But when you find something long forgotten, you rediscover what you knew all along. Unfortunately, in this story, these memories should have been buried and forgotten a long time ago. It's the story of a broken town, now destroyed by one snowman. And so, after the death of Principal Pankley, Frosty the Snowman endured chaos into our town, covering our homes in snow, freezing people out into the cold who have tried to oppose him, and taking our children into his snow-filled castle to be his slaves. And the parents? Well, when a criminal is mostly locked up for thievery, murdering, and breaking the law, this is what happened to all our parents. But Frosty was much worse, even as far as freezing the atmosphere with his magic powers, so winter would last forever. I don't know how that works, but he says it works. What about the young ones? Why, they were all slaves to Frosty, cleaning his snow world from the trash and piss, building sculptures for him, and forcing us to torture their parents. All seems lost until Tommy and his brother came up with an idea. At night, when all of the snowmen, including the snow guards, were fast asleep just like a log, Tommy and his brother has gathered all the kids to his bed place to set up a plan to get rid of Frosty once and for all.
Alright everybody, here's our plan. Remember at class when we were taught about the atmosphere and how the gas that runs from my parents' cars blows smoke out of the air? That smoke emits a wide range of gases and matter causing global warming, acid rain, and harms the environment, making the ozone on the earth to weaken and have the sun's deadly ray hurt people from their burns. There is a dump place where all cars from the town were thrown away because he thought they were worthless, and Frosty hasn't gone there ever since. Well, here's the plan. If we find loads of gasoline in town when we're out of sight of Frosty, we bring it back to the dump place and pour as much gasoline as you can into any car you find. We also need to find some keys to start the cars up. I believe there are some at the storage facility where they have to keep the keys in there because the owners don't use those cars anymore. Alright everybody, that's our plan. Now let's do this.
And that was the entire plan. Wherever Frosty told one of the kids to go outside to the castle, they searched high and low to find places where they keep gasoline, like gas stations and containers that can be carried to the car. It wasn't easy though. It took a bit longer when the job was really demanding, and there were a few complications, but they still proceeded. Months passed and the atmosphere looked like it wasn't getting any warmer. During the month of May, Frosty demanded all the kids to head out and finish one job for an entire day, like polishing the entirety of Frosty's cold winter wonderland. But then, while we were out there cleaning, the sidewalks were getting pretty slippery, and the kids were hitting their heads on the sidewalks. Frosty was feeling something wasn't quite right today, and wondered what has been happening out there. He asked everybody to turn to the castle while he tried to investigate the cause of the slipping accidents. As he tried to figure out what was going on, he noticed that there were piles of water sprouting out of nowhere, even on the sidewalks going into the cradle. Frosty tried to take a closer look at the problem when he noticed that he's been sweating a lot too.
Was the mess odd? I'm pretty sure that the temperature is supposed to be 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Why isn't that thermometer going up? And where is all that huge amount of smoke coming from? What the fuck? Oh god! I'm melting! Melting! Oh, what a world! What a world! Who could have found some clever little spies who would figure out how to make the ozone weaker to weaken my powers? Oh god, not the sewers! Not the sewers! Ah!
And that was the last we ever heard of Frosty. As his hat lays there in the hot pavement, wet and drippy, I took the hat and tear it in half, so I can put these two separate in one box and another one into a box buried deep. We have finally won, and we have learned that even if parents are too restricted, there's still people who raised us, teach us what's right and wrong, and they're part of our family too. And when Frosty's castle started to collapse after we broke our families out of prison, we felt like we made victory. But right when we were about to celebrate, we have almost forgotten that we destroyed our environment. This is all we have had. Our town now dry, hot, with dying plants and animals. The happy town now depressing and sorrow. Our town was never like the perfect town we wanted. And so, for the rest of our life, we live under the hot sun from the dangerous heat rays. And we only come out if we think the atmosphere is getting colder or even if it's dark. And that, my children, is the legendary tale of Frosty the Snowman. It's an odd story to tell to a bunch of kids like you. But when you're older, you will understand what this story's meaning has on your life. Take it from me, 'cause I got to know a lot about growing up.
Bonnie, come into the garage! I finished the shader mechanism, and it looks like it's going to get dark!
Coming, Sarah. I'm coming.